So let's talk about the 911 GT3. So I previously had an E90 M3, and while that car was awesome, I was just ready for something that had more purpose, more focus. And the next logical step, usually from an M3, is definitely moving over to Porsche. So I've drove Boxsters and Caymans and 911s, and while the Boxsters and Caymans provided an amazing driving experience, the 911 was just simply better. The 911 looked better to me than the Boxsters and Caymans and provided also a more raw and visceral experience. Comparing the 997.2 911 and the 991 911, it proved that the rawness from the 997.2 was just not present in the 991. The 991 was more of a grand tourer, so now I knew what I wanted. I wanted either a 997.2 911 or a 991 GT3. And in the end, I went with a 991 GT3 as I could get it at an MSRP. You know, nowadays it's a different story as the dealerships are now selling them at market value. So anyway, back then I put down a deposit and put my name on the list, and approximately 2.5 years later, my allocation came in and I got my 2015 911 GT3, all at MSRP. Definitely unheard of nowadays. You know, this car was just heavenly. It did everything good. It had the sound, it had the looks, and it was exciting to drive. The acceleration and braking was just out of this world. And of course, I had the ceramic brake option, and they were so strong and progressive that it gave me so much confidence. This, coupled with the amazing handling of the 911's rear traction, made this car just unstoppable. The dual clutch transmission also made living with the car a breeze, and you didn't have to worry about your destination or your journey. You just got in and drove it. But as the miles started piling on, I started eyeing Ferrari. You know, mainly because I slowly realized that while the 911 GT3 was an amazing car, you really had to be on it to get the adrenaline rush. And when you weren't on it, it just felt like a normal 911. And the excitement just wasn't there when driving it casually. The engine and exhaust only really came alive when depressing the throttle past 50% and being over 4,500 RPMs. And don't get me wrong, you know, the 911 GT3 is an amazing car and it punches well above its weight. But I knew that, you know, it would only do that on the track. And with normal driving on public roads, the opportunities to push it were slim. And thus, I never had enough chances to make it come alive and get that excitement bug that I was looking for. So then I started to look at Ferrari, and now I had to think about, so what